Hello. I have removed the Stoptail from this Gibson ES335. I've taken the Stoptail studs out. We're going to replace those. I'm going to lay this Stoptail to the side and we're going to mount this new adapter plate so that we can put a SteelMaster on any Gibson that has a Stoptail and a Tune-o-matic bridge. So before we mount this plate, we're going to place these two small washers here right on top of that threaded well or threaded nut that we're going to drive the screw into. And the reason we're doing that is because we want there to be a gap between the bottom of this plate and the top of this guitar, this arch on this Gibson. And so this plate can be used on, other styles too. It could be used on a Les Paul. It actually can be used on a flat top Gibson, a flat top solid body like a Gibson SG. It can be used there also. So I laid the small washers up here and I'm going to lay the plate carefully on top. And I'm going to use these new bolts that are supplied in the kit that you will get. And we're just going to hand tighten those down in there to begin with. It's okay to leave them, as a matter of fact, it's preferred just to leave them a little bit loose. Leave the first one a little bit loose anyway, until we get the second one in. And now they're both in. Everything is lined up and straight. We have the plate mounted correctly because the place where the ball end is on the bottom, that slot is on the top. You can see there's a small gap between the bottom of the plate and the top of that arched top. The plate will not be touching that arched top if you install it correctly with those small washers. So we're just hand tightening those down again, just like so. And then we're going to mount the SteelMaster using the 632 screws that are provided in the kit. Again, we're going to leave the first one loose until we get the second one installed. Make sure everything is lined up straight. Tighten the second one down, tighten the first one down. So now we have the SteelMaster mounted. And I'm going to show you how to install the strings. So So the string goes into that slot, the ball end of the string, or the ferrule on that string, just goes right up inside that gap. And it runs up to the tuner, goes across the saddle. Make sure you get the string under this axle. I'm not going to worry about tightening the string on the tuner right now. And now that I've shown you the big E string in that slot, you know how to do these others, but I'm going to also show you how to mount the, in this case, the B string into the bender. So you want to make sure the string goes under the bender lever and hits the radius. We're going to install that ball end into that small opening in the end of the bender. And we're going to run the string up to the tuner. Just like so. And we would be tightening the tuner right now if I was going to go ahead and finish. But that is basically how to mount this new adapter plate. We're going to call that plate the Gilbert plate. And it will go on to Gibson style guitars like ES335, SGs, Les Pauls, and other Gibsons that have a Stoptail and a Tune-o-matic style bridge. One more thing. In your toolkit, there are 3 Allen wrenches, and each of those Allen wrenches have a function. So this one, the medium-sized one, is to tighten the set screw on this collar. And when you get it, that collar may be loose or it may be tight. But you want it tightened before you're finished with the job. So when you mount the bender lever, line the string up with a saddle, get it in place, and run that collar up against the bender lever, and then tighten that set screw down. And the reason we're going to tighten that set screw down and that collar is going to be rigid is because when you're playing, when you're string bending here, you don't want that bender lever to push down and toward the E string. So that is just for more or less stabilizing the lever so that it doesn't push down. Also, there will be a large Allen wrench. That Allen wrench is for tightening or loosening the paddle screw, which helps you adjust the stiction or friction of the paddle lever. But before you adjust that, you need to use the smallest Allen wrench to adjust the set screw that goes into the end of this lever. So that would look like that set screw right there. So loosen that, and then loosen or tighten this to set the amount of friction or stiction you want here, and then go back and tighten that set screw again that holds that screw tight. I hope that helps.